Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. What happened? What's going on here? Conservatives propose law to outright ban communism and Islamism in Italy. Pesky state. The National Conservative Brothers of Italy, the FDL, led by Giorgia Meloni and Cuca de Meatball, have introduced a proposal to ban communism using a law that already bans fascism in Italy. Several members of the FDL, including member of the Chamber of Deputies and former President Salerno Edmondo Cirielli Bugatti Ferrari, presented a bill to see communism banned in Italy, referencing a 2019 anti-communist and anti-Nazi resolution approved by the European Parliament. Maloney's party stated that it was time to equate the communist regime with the fascist regime. Fair. Completely fair. And that the ban on fascism should simply be extended to encompass communism, including the Soviet, Cuban, and Venezuelan models. My goodness. Wait a minute, no, you can't do that. Those weren't real communism. You can't do that. It's not real communism. Mussolini wasn't real fascism. The new bill seeks to create provisions to counter groups, movements, and political parties pursuing anti-democratic purposes according to communist totalitarian ideologies or extremist Islamic religious ideologies. I mean, I'm really not a fan of ideologies that absolutely demand you bend the knee, and if you don't, bye-bye, away you go, or away your life goes. The party also attacked lax border policies, saying that mass uncontrolled immigration contributes to the danger of Islamic extremist ideologies. The proposal for the bill comes months after Giorgia Meloni and I'm sorry, Italian, yes, and Spanish populist Vox leader Santiago Abascal signed the anti-communist Madrid Charter in November of last year, along with over 70 others. The Charter states that the signatories affirm that the advance of communism poses a serious threat to the prosperity and development of our nations, as well as to the freedoms and rights of our compatriots. Yes. Yep. I agree. I absolutely agree with that. Not a fan of brutal ideologies. Not a fan of it. You know, you may have heard, you know, ideologies that demand you bend the knee or you get taken behind the chemical shed and shot. Yeah, I'm not a fan of those. And commits to rule of law, freedom, and democracy. Fine. Earlier this year, after Santiago Abascal was attacked in Madrid during a speech by far-left extremists. Really? It's not like them. Miss Maloney stated that violent leftists were guards of the progressive system. Yeah. Paramilitary wings, they're called. You know, it's sort of like when basically everybody knows how it is. You know, you've seen it in Northern Ireland, you've seen it in any country that the CIA's had its nose in. See if there is a combat happening, and one group of combatants seems to just absolutely get away with everything that they're doing. Yeah, they're the ones that the state supports. The left, the white guard of the system, is well aware that our commitment and battles we carry out are the greatest danger to their project. Those who defend identity, traditions, family, and homeland are an enemy to be slaughtered at all costs, she added. Now, I'm not going to get into identity, tradition, homeland, return, or anything like that. However, that is the message of the progressive left. Like, yeah, like, find me a far leftist, right, that actually loves their country, that salutes the flag. None of them do. They'll salute other flags, though. It's funny that. I wonder why that could be. I wonder what nations might have a vested interest in stuff like this. Maloney and the FDL have seen a dramatic rise in popularity after choosing to remain in opposition to the Grand Coalition government led by Prime Minister Mario. Oh, I'm sorry. I love Italy. Italy's a beautiful country. I honeymooned in Italy. But it's so hard. It's so hard. Like, see, as soon as I got off the plane, I saw baggage handlers at the airport doing that, and I was even like, Sue, they're doing the thing, they're doing the fucking thing, yeah. I'm sorry, I just found it funny. Last week, a poll showed the FDL reaching 20% for the first time and becoming the second largest party in the country, behind Salvini's League after scoring just over 4% of the last Italian national election in 2018. Now, obviously, as far as free speech goes, no. I am against banning advocacy of fascism, communism, Islamism, blah, 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 because whenever you do that to groups like this, it turns them into martyrs. It makes people think, oh, the government wants this group banned. Maybe they're onto something because nobody trusts the government, right? Basically, everyone sees the government, people are starting to see the government like me as the sleazy car salesman who's not only just out to screw you, but takes great pride in how much he can screw you. Right, so whenever you ban groups like this, that only gives credence to their views. It makes people want to hear what they've got to say. It actually helps bolster their popularity. Laws like this actually have the opposite effect, much in the same way that laws against speech, if someone was arrested for saying racist comments after they get out of prison, they're 100 times more racist. Like, I've yet... And in all my work that I've done, I've yet to find one person who was charged, for racist comments under any of the speech laws who changed their ways. I've yet to find one. So basically, laws like this don't work. They actually have the opposite effect, which is why I'm against fascism being banned, but basically banned to be discussed about. But I'm also against communism and Islamism being banned as well. These should be countered with ideas, right? So basically, one of the main problems is they point out, the government doesn't like us, the government's censoring us, the government's afraid of us and stuff like that. See, if the government just doesn't do anything about it, then they've got nothing to go to their followers with. Everyone will be like, well, show me evidence. You're allowed to march down the fucking street and wave your flag. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, basically, just don't do stuff like this. It actually helps a group like this. Like, see how you're getting people noticing? Every time someone gets cancelled, they just instead get more popular because that's what people have learned to do. Whenever this guy got deplatformed, he then completely blew up on another platform because that's what people have learned to do. This is the post-censorship age where people now know how to handle censorship. All these laws and all these legislations, they all have the opposite effect now. I don't want communism getting a boost. I don't want Islamism getting a boost. I do not want either of those things. But these laws do just that. And even though fascism is banned in Italy, like I said, I honeymooned in Italy, I saw a lot of fascist graffiti. A lot. I saw swastikas. I saw stencils of Mussolini's head. I saw a lot of that stuff, so... Fascism, I can assure you, it's still alive and well in Italy, despite these laws. The problem is, it's now a problem that you cannot see because you don't know who its proponents are, you don't know who its supporters are, you don't know who its believers are, so you don't know who to talk to and who to convince. However, they can then operate from the shadows and bring people in and chat to them, and because you've no idea that conversation's happening, you're not there to offer a counter voice. That's what happens when you make things like this illegal. The problem just goes completely underground. The problem absolutely still exists. You've just made it harder to see. These laws are stupid and they should not be done. But if we are to go ahead with it, commies, you want fascism? Well, not just fascism. You pretty much want everything on the right side of the spectrum completely banned. But you love these speech laws. Fair's fair, right? Fair is fair. It's like, no, you're not allowed to talk about your murderous ideology, but we're allowed to talk about ours. No, that's not how it works. We are all equal under the law. Fair is fair, and what is the law if not fair, right? So either all of it's okay or none of it's okay. And it looks like you're starting to reap what you've sown. But anyway, you know how to get a hold of me anyway. We always could use a few more foot soldiers in the fight for freedom of speech. But don't worry when you come to me and approach me and you want to put the gloves on and you want to join the fight, I won't gloat too much.